number 3. Wherever you may be, however you may be listening. iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1, sponsored by Firestone Complete Auto Care. Keep your car running new or longer. Mark Schlereth joins me in under 10 minutes. Flacco won't return rookie Lamar Jackson's calls or texts. And Big Ben doesn't want to be friends with Mason Rudolph. Are these veteran star quarterbacks insecure, petty, juvenile, bad teammates, or do they have a point? That is Mark Schlereth in under 10 minutes. Flacco won't return his text. By the way, lottery tonight, Game 2, Cavs-Celtics tonight, but Game 1, last night, Golden State looked great, and that's where we're starting. It's amazing to me how the NBA fans and media obsess over stats, triple-doubles, the shiny new object. But what you're watching in San Francisco, folks, that's a Picasso. That's how you play basketball. That's art. That's passing. That's open man. In a selfish league, it's selfless basketball. But no. Triple-double. Got to give him an award. James Harden. 41 points. I can hear the media this morning. Guy needs help. 41 points. It is amazing. What do you want? Do you want great basketball? Because you have it in San Francisco. That's how you play. Stars in a selfish league being selfless. The ball rarely hits the floor. Fast breaks. Draymond finishes, maybe KD. Clay, Steph, does it really matter? Iguodala. Nick Young has time. That's how you play basketball. But we don't give awards to Phil Jackson, Coach of the Year. He won only one. We don't give awards to the Warriors. No, it's the triple-double guy. It's the ISO act guy. When I watch James Harden, do you know what I see? I see Russell Westbrook with facial hair. He's a better shooter, and I like him more than Russell Westbrook, and I do think he has more self-awareness than Russell Westbrook. But Kenny Smith had a great breakdown last night on TNT, and let me ask you, who is he talking about? Is he talking about Harden or Russell Westbrook here?
As you walk it up, one guy has the basketball, and particularly everyone's going to their spot. And now we're at 13 seconds on the shot clock, and not one other person has touched the basketball.
There's no rhythm.
But they've been winning all year, but all of a sudden you have lockdown defenders and guys who do not give up on the play in the Golden State. One guy has had the basketball for 19 seconds of the 24-second shot clock as we go in now.
It's got to be a heave.
And then, all of a sudden he says, no, you shoot it. He doesn't allow me to take it.
Hey, Ernie, we've all played with guys who want to screw up your field goal percentage and don't want to mess up theirs.
Who are they talking about? That's my criticism of Westbrook. I just think Harden's a better version of Westbrook. He's Westbrook with a beard. But Colin, Westbrook and Harden average like 8-9 assists a game. Folks, do you know how many more possessions basketball has now? When you handle the ball for 85% of a possession, it's not revolutionary getting 8.5, 9 assists per game. I'm sorry. It's like getting 4 years ago. The game is faster, more possessions. Guards now control the floor. And I find Houston is easier to prepare for. Oklahoma City, Westbrook, and Harden are easier to prepare for over a 7-game series than Golden State. Golden State's like preparing for the SAT. You got to be able to write. You got to be able to read. You got to prepare for math. You got an essay. Harden and Westbrook are a spelling bee. Memorize some words. I mean, that's it. They're easier to prepare for because everything with OKC and everything through Houston runs through one guy having the ball 90% of the time. And over a 7-game series, I would argue Golden State's harder to prepare for because they can give you so many different dilemmas. The ball goes through so many different hands. But the NBA and its writers, oh, my God, triple-doubles, the MVP. ISO guy, 41 points, MVP. The beard, Westbrook. Golden State's playing basketball the way you're supposed to play it. Charles Barkley had a great moment last night. He talked about this at halftime, a really good point.
He's working so hard. He's making very difficult shots. I'd like to see him do a little bit more. It just takes too much energy to dribble 20 seconds every time. This guy's an offensive machine, but it's just how easy the Warriors are. Those shots, even though he make them, they use a lot of energy. And I don't know if he can sustain that, but the Rockets are scoring hard. The Warriors are scoring very easy.
Harden and Westbrook are largely the same guy. Harden's simply a better version. He's a better shooter. There's no getting around that. And he does appear to have the ability to at times play better with an individual star teammate. But Kenny Smith and Barkley's breakdown, you might as well have been talking about Russell Westbrook. He uses so much energy to score. He takes the ball for 19 seconds, dribble, dribble, dribble. Teammates become spectators. Even Harden and Westbrook, when they go to the bench, they're in their own tunnel. They don't celebrate with teammates. But they'll win the hardware. They'll win the awards. That's what everybody's obsessed about. Not what you're seeing out right now in San Francisco, which is absolutely the best shooting team I've ever seen, one of the best defensive teams I've ever seen, one of the best passing teams I've ever seen, one of the best coach teams in the last decade. No. But the guy in Oklahoma City had 9 rebounds. Whoa, 10, triple-double. Wow. Harden and Westbrook, you have to conform to them. Steph and KD conform to each other. Let me shift gears to this. There's 2 things that are very good for my business that you may or may not know. I doubt you know both of them. The first thing that's really good for my business was the Supreme Court ruling yesterday that sports gambling is legal. Now, I don't think everybody in America is suddenly going to start gambling on football and basketball. People who gamble will gamble maybe a little more, and people who don't gamble won't gamble. But the more people who have an opportunity to become emotionally engaged in any sport, it's good for my business. Put $20 in a game, you just care more. It's true. It really is. Bet $100 on a game night. Could be hockey. You don't like hockey. It's close, third period. You start thinking, man, $100. Awesome dinner Saturday night. It'll be free, no taxes from the government. The second thing that's really good for my business is burning jerseys. Yeah, burning jerseys are great for my business because that means I've got a jilted fan base on one side and a new opportunity, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, to hate on the other side. I'll tell you who's rooting against LeBron tonight because you believe when LeBron plays, I always root for LeBron. That is not true. I root for chaos, and I root for interesting. The Sixers, Lakers, and Houston are rooting hard against LeBron tonight. If Boston blows out Cleveland, what do we know about the ABCs of LeBron James? 15 years, he's given us the ABCs. A, when he thinks the Cavaliers or any roster is too old. B, he thinks his current teammates can't play at his level. And C, he has no shot at winning a title. He pushes the ejector button. That's what happened first time in Cleveland, went to Miami, and then he thought that roster in Miami was getting too old. They weren't consistently able to play at his level, and he felt after San Antonio beat him, we do not have a shot to win a title now. I know what you're thinking. Colin, you always root for LeBron. No, what I always root for is interesting. And LeBron has been overwhelmingly interesting in the last 15 years. That's why I talk about him. But if they get crushed tonight and Cleveland really gets suffocated, the Sixers, the Lakers, and the Rockets are sitting there thinking, this is when LeBron bolts. LeBron in a new city, burning jerseys, is absolutely fantastic, not just for me, but primarily guys like me. Boston wins today. You know it. I know it. We've seen it before. Get your jerseys ready. I'll be on Twitter posting me lighting a cigar up. If Boston wins by 20, you can use that cigar to light your jersey. Lakers, Sixers, Houston are rooting hard against LeBron tonight. They want chaos. They want him to feel like he's trapped. They want him to feel he has no chance now to beat Boston next year when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward come back and Tatum and Jaylen Brown are even better. A Boston win tonight is not a terrible thing. With that, speaking of interesting, Several years ago, I've lost count 4 to 5, a profoundly great college quarterback went late in the first round of the Denver Broncos. His name was Tim Tebow. And for the next 2 to 3 years, though he was 3rd to 4th on the Bronco depth chart in terms of, completing passes, he took over the football world. We have a history in football, Kaepernick last year, where sometimes the biggest story of the year with a quarterback isn't about the great quarterbacks. Tim Tebow, interesting, took over the world. I want to bring in Mark Schlereth, who lives in Denver, who played for Denver, who is one of the sources